All right, what up, YouTube Live? YouTube live stream. This is Rama Screen, covering movies, TV, and entertainment. We're doing this live streaming style. Uh, Sorry for the lack of updates, lack of videos these past few days. I caught the flu and have fallen sick ever since Sunday. Oh man. So my fever comes and goes. Sometimes I would burn up. I'm burning up sometimes. Sometimes I'm not burning up. Sometimes I'm okay. So it's been quite the roller coaster of man hellish experience right now. I hope that you have a much better holiday season than what I'm experiencing. Mm. So before I go back to bed and take my medicine again, I want to talk to you guys about this thing at hand because I don't want to wait till tomorrow or till this weekend or till till I get better to talk about it. I want to bring it up to you guys and see what you guys think about it. So the topic of today's discussion is Mark Hamill criticizes Star Wars: The Last Jedi depiction of Luke Skywalker. What? What? By the way, you guys can hear me okay, right? I don't have the I don't have that earbuds mic thing, but I'm trying to get as up close and personal here with you guys. So hopefully you guys can hear me through this iPhone audio. So yeah, Mark Hamill recently, he's been doing promo tour, right, for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. That's what actors do. So from one country to the next, and doing interviews after interviews, and apparently, and I'm reading off of Variety website here. On an interview with IMDb, Mark Hamill said this, and I quote, I've had trouble accepting what Rian Johnson, the writer and director for Star Wars The Last Jedi, I've had trouble accepting what Rian Johnson saw for Luke. But again, I mean, I have to say, having seen the movie, I was wrong. I think being pushed out of your comfort zone is a good thing because I was just another benevolent Jedi training young Padawans. We've seen it. So it sounds like a genuine comment, but at the same time, he's kind of saying like, we've seen this before. But here's the kicker. He said this to a Spanish website, Sensacina, and I quote: "I almost had to think of Luke as another character. Maybe he's Jake Skywalker. He's not my Luke Skywalker. Damn, damn, Mark Hamill disowning his own, the character he's played since 1977. Publicly, he's saying that publicly. He's not my Luke Skywalker, he said. Woo! That ought to be enough to, get him into trouble. Get him into trouble with Lucasfilm, right? So anyway, fast forward to yesterday, December 26th, day after Christmas. Mark Hamill tweeted this: I regret voicing my doubt and insecurities in public. Creative differences are a common element of any project, but usually remain private. All I wanted was to make a good movie. I got more than that. Rian Johnson made an all time great one. Okay, drama. So, a lot of fans are theorizing out there. I've been reading from one web forum to the next that this tweet by Mark Hamill is probably because Lucasfilm knocked on his door and said, "Hey, what the fuck, man? We're still busy promoting our movie. It's out in theater. You're gonna hurt its chances at the box office by talking this shit." And I would not rule that theory out. Um, well, here's the thing. So what are my thoughts about this? And I want to ask you about what do you think about this? First of all, don't don't post your resentment uh, or dissatisfaction publicly like that. Don't post it on Facebook because it can bite you back in the butt. All right. If it's something that you have problems with somebody, confront that problem head on with that somebody, with that person. Don't complain on you know Facebook posts or Twitter posts. That's just a dick move. To me, that's a childish move. Why? Because I had done that dick move before. It was back in college. Somebody criticized me for my fandom of Superman over Batman or something like that, and it got so heated. I did a rant of it on Facebook post, and I regretted it, man, because I lost a friend because of it. Now, is that the relationship between Mark Hamill and Ryan Johnson? I assume that it has reached the point where it's no longer a boss employee relationship. I mean, they spent months filming this, right? They've spent months shooting this project. I'm sure there's some level of respect or friendship that they have developed over that period of time. So if you, Mark Hamill, disagree with Ryan Johnson's writing or depiction on the script of your character, Luke Skywalker, say it to him. Don't wait till like the movie's already out and then complain publicly like a child. To me, that's a childish move. Now, that also brought me to my next point. Like, why didn't Mark Hamill say anything to Ryan Johnson during production or during the writing stage? I mean, Ryan Johnson is the only writer credited on Star Wars: Last Jedi. There's no other screenwriters. There's no other rewrite of the script. It's only him. It's only Ryan Johnson. Surely Mark Hamill could go up to Ryan and say, "Hey, I appreciate what you're doing here, but I've been with this character forever. I don't think my character would say this or would do that. I think we should change this part or that part." I mean, I'm sure Ryan Johnson will be open to the great Mark Hamill's opinion. I mean, Mark Hamill's an icon in this franchise. Ryan Johnson is a sort of like a newcomer. He came into the franchise. Mark Hamill has been with the franchise forever, so I'm sure Ryan would be okay with some alteration of Luke Skywalker that would please Mark Hamill. But one theory out there is like, hey Rama, I don't think Mark Hamill could have done that because we're dealing with Lucasfilm's head honcho Kathleen Kennedy, who is a my way or the highway kind of person. Uh, as you may have recalled, she fired Phil Lord and Chris Miller from Han Solo film. She fired Colin Trevorrow from Episode 9. So there's this thing that she would like to see in this overall arc of the saga. And maybe if Mark Hamill had uh, come forward to Ryan Johnson about his dissatisfaction over Luke Skywalker character, maybe Mark Hamill doesn't want any conflict with Kathleen Kennedy. He doesn't want to see Ryan Johnson get fired. Maybe you know, maybe Mark Hamill knows how Kathleen Kennedy plays, so he probably thinks, I better just shut up and complain later. um, so that's one theory. Uh, my next point is, um, I looked up the some of the comments under Mark Hamill's tweet that says the tweet regarding I regret voicing my doubt and insecurities in public. All I wanted to make is a great movie. I got more than that. Ryan Johnson. So I read the comments underneath them, underneath that, and the fans are pretty divided on that. If you looked up Rotten Tomatoes, the movie received high ratings from the critic, but not as high a rating from the public. Of course, you can always give ratings to movies on Rotten Tomatoes, even if you haven't seen the movie. But that said, it seems like the audiences are mixed when it comes to, or the fans are mixed when it comes to, or divided when it comes to Star Wars: The Last Jedi and what they think of the movie. Basically, some of the comments, were encouraging of Mark Hamill. Like, hey, you don't need to apologize, man. You can always, express your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. But I think Luke Skywalker in Star Wars: The Last Jedi was great. I don't think there was any problem with that. And then there were some comments that said, "Hey, preach it, Mark Hamill. I too did not like the portrayal of Luke Skywalker in this movie. So don't apologize, man. Be brave, be brave." So it, it's a it's a combination of those two camps, and which brings me to my last point. It's it's that same thing again, that same battle again of, or that same battle between purist diehard fans and the fans of the franchise who are open to new interpretations of the iconic characters. For example, I have a friend a few years ago who was just, I'm not going to name his name, but he is the biggest fan of Gem and the Holograms. You know, Gem and the Holograms, that animated series in the 80s. He grew up with that. I grew up watching something else in the 80s, but um, so when the movie came out, Gem and the Holograms movie, he was just so pissed. He was so angry. He trashed it. He's a movie critic, and he's just like, what is this crap? This is not the Gem and the Holograms that I grew up watching. This is an abomination. Whereas I thought the movie was okay. The movie was upbeat. The songs were catchy. I did not mind the new take on it. The ladies were attractive. There were many parts about Gem and the Holograms movie that were appealing. But to him, it's like, no, no, it has to be this way. So, and then, do you remember Thor Ragnarok this past, few months ago? I was one of the few who were like, oh, what is this crapola? You turned Thor into a bumbling comedic fool. No, Thor's not supposed to be that way. He's supposed to be the Nordic god, a serious Shakespearean, dialogue talking kind of guy. While the rest of the world loved the movie. The rest of the world's like, yay! Taika Waititi gave a fresh take on the Nordic god of thunder. So that's what I meant with this old, never-ending battle between purist die-hard fans and fans who are open-minded. Uh, and it's never gonna go away. Back to Mark Hamill's issues. There's always people that saying, "No, Luke Skywalker has to be this way and this way only." If you change him into a reluctant Jedi, a Jedi who doesn't want to be a Jedi, that's just, what is that? That's not Luke Skywalker. This is a crappy movie. And then they just immediately dismiss it. And then there will be fans who are like, "Oh, you know what? I like this." I did not want Rian Johnson to recycle, or rehash things from the past. So I think it's a fresh, interesting take on Luke Skywalker. I welcome it. So there will always be that battle, all right. But the difference is that that we're talking about fandom there, but Mark Hamill is not, you know just a fan of the franchise. He's not expressing his criticism only as a fan. This guy actually has been with this character since the 70s. So the connection is much stronger. It's a next level connection. So it's not just like me and you being fans and debating about Luke Skywalker. So to conclude, I mean, until Mark Hamill, um, basic nerf, yeah, there are spoilers in this discussion. So if you wanna um, move along, if you don't want spoilers, go ahead, watch my other videos. Thank you, basic nerf. So to conclude, I think until Mark Hamill comes up with some kind of uh, thank you, basic nerf, and come back to watch this video again. And looking forward to your thoughts about this matter. So until Mark Hamill comes up with his own quintessential tell-all book that reveals what exactly it is that he was so dissatisfied about the depiction of Luke Skywalker in Star Wars: The Last Jedi, because we don't know exactly specifically why he's unhappy with it. He's just unhappy with it, but he's not telling us why. So until that day comes when he tells all, we can only make assumptions for now. Um, and we can only continue on debating as fans. But again, he's more than just a fan. He's actually the guy that has embodied this character. So that gives him more than just some validity, or more than just some credibility. His argument is more solid because he's the guy you know who knows Luke Skywalker, um, probably a bit better than you and I do. So you can't just dismiss his dissatisfaction. So hopefully, I'm hoping that in the next few years or so that he would, I don't know, do a blog post or do a vlog, and I'm sure it's gonna be the news of the day when he does that. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God!" So that's why he was unhappy with his version of Luke Skywalker in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It makes total sense now. Maybe it'll come. Maybe that's how we'll respond to it, but we'll see. Uh, so what do you think? What do you think of this topic? If you've seen the movie, um, did you like how the movie? Excuse me. Did you like how Star Wars: The Last Jedi, or how writer director Rian Johnson depicted Luke Skywalker, or did you not like it, and why? My next question is: do you think that Mark Hamill is justified for complaining publicly? Like, he's right; he has the right to do that. He shouldn't be told by Lucasfilm not to, you know, express his opinion. Or do you think that Mark Hamill should just shut up and take your $1 million paycheck and run off into the sunset and just be grateful for it and don't complain? What do you think that on that issue, on that topic? Uh, so yeah, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And also, last but not least, I think despite this recent controversy, I think you and I can still agree that Mark Hamill is still one mother effing awesome guy. Okay, you can watch my video interview with Mark Hamill from last year. I interviewed him on the red carpet of Comic Con HQ. You can watch it here on Rama Screen YouTube channel. And I was just geeking out. He was just like, oh my God. Even though it's only a couple of minutes of interview, I'm in the presence of the iconic Luke Skywalker. And he was so gracious and generous. I'm not Mario Lopez, but he treats me like I'm like, oh, I gotta give this guy some time, some of my time. I'm a big A-lister, but let me talk to Rama. It's just I'm just humbled every time I watch that video again and again. And if you recall, or if you've been following Mark Hamill's tweets a few weeks ago when freaking FCC killed net neutrality, Mark Hamill epically trolled FCC director Ajit Pai, who unleashed a video where he was wielding lightsaber with Star Wars music background in the background, and Mark Hamill said like a real Jedi would not let the or would not give the internet or would not hand the internet over to corporations. A Jedi you are not. I'm like, damn, shots fired, shots fired, burn. Ajit Pai must have been like, mm. So yeah, uh, whether or not you agree or disagree with Mark Hamill's unhappiness about Luke Skywalker in Star Wars The Last Jedi, I think we can all agree that he, as a person, Mark Hamill, is still one of the most awesome people in the galaxy. All right, share your thoughts in the comment section below, and please subscribe to this channel. And if you like my channel, if you like to support it, please. I have about 7 patrons so far. I could really use your help. My name is Rama. This channel is Rama Screen. I do red carpet interviews. I do press junkets. I do TV interviews. I cover a lot of events, so I need your help. So if you can spare $2 per month, excuse me, please do so. Sign up at the patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. There's all kinds of rewards for all kinds of levels there. If $2 per month, $5 per month, that can go a long way. Okay, become my patrons today. May the force be with you, and enjoy Star Wars: The Last Jedi again and again this weekend. Let's rock this.